Welcome to the Take It Home podcast. The podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc Simmons 17. Tonight we've got the usual crew of good-looking men. I'm gonna give the hot tag to my partner. Why don't you introduce yourself, homie?
Yes, sir. Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media at Z Hendricks Brand, or look at Country Air up at Country Air Official on Facebook and Instagram, and Country Air Brand on Twitter. Now I'll pass it along to the Senior Official.
Guys, I'm Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the Ref Brand, and Waffles Take It Home podcast.
Waffles all around. Got to do that breakfast check, fellas. How was the breakfast smorgasbord over the weekend? If you had a smorgasbord.
It was not much in the way of the breakfast. However, we did have some canes over the weekend, which was damn good and really hit the spot.
There we go. Zach?
No waffles, but very good pizza. I can't forget. I don't know what it's called. I can't pronounce it. Sombrero or whatever. Sombrero.
SBARRO.
Yeah, it's always at those like malls.
Yeah, it's Barrow.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yesterday had phenomenal tacos. Gallilucha, these people made some great tacos.
All right, I have to take you out to A-Rod's over here at the little cafeteria that they opened up. Some good ass eats in there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Best steak taco I have ever had.
No.
And I don't think it's close. Like, damn good.
Those Gallilucha tacos are as good as it gets. I have to agree. I took down about 3 of them last night, and I've taken down as much as 8 in a night. I think 9 maybe one time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a long day, and those tacos are the absolute best.
Yeah, nothing like finding a good taco spot. There are so many good taco spots out here in Madison that have been popping up, and I appreciate.
The separation of onion and cilantro is like heartwarming. Just cilantro, no onion. That's beautiful. I love it.
That's all Perch needs. I think I would say even these tacos, the steak ones, can't even taste the onions and cilantro. Can't even taste it. It's a quality taco over there.
Ooh.
Okay. So Perch, we know about your Canes addiction. We know about your recent bang addiction. But I know you've had an addiction for bangers of the week for a very long time. So why don't you give us one?
Yeah, banger of the week this week. This one was a long time coming. I'm waiting for the moment I could play the song and listen to it in headphones. Brandon Flowers is the frontman for the Killers, and he had a solo CD, probably 10, 12 years ago. And the first song on the CD was "Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas." And that was this week's banger of the week. It was a damn good song, and I listened to it many times over the weekend as I traveled, and woke up in Las Vegas, and that song was as good as it gets.
Nice.
It was a dream come true when I was able to play that one.
Yeah, always a good feeling when you get the appropriate area songs. I'll be very happy to be bumping All the Nelly when I'm in St. Louis next month. Can't wait.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait. I have not heard his solo stuff, but now that it is on the Take It Home podcast playlist, I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah, and another tune that's already on that playlist. I made sure when I was walking down Fremont Street, I put the headphones in. It was late at night with all the lights blaring, and I listened to the song "Joyride" by the Killers as well from the playlist already. And that was just as good as it gets. My brother told me he listened to that one when he went to Vegas many years ago, and it hit on a different level. And he's not even a Killers fan, so for him to like the one song, I was like, awesome. I can't wait.
Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome. All right, fellas. I know me and Perch talked a little bit before we got started, and Zach came in a little late. But what wrestling have we been watching? I'm sure we've got plenty to talk about as far as injuries this week have gone. But let's start with Zach.
Matt, I watched a lot of like YouTube matches again. One I really found entertaining was the Rascals. For those who don't know, they're MSK in Impact. They had a third member, Trey Miguel, but it was the Rascals versus LAX, which is Santino and Ortiz with Conan, in a tag title match. And both teams were baby faces. Both teams were like good, like no, like both teams, like every the crowd was behind both teams. There was like no divide, no heel. I think LAX took a little bit more of the heel role, but everything was fun. And like at the end, the finish made everyone stay strong. They had Ortiz drink his whiskey and they kick him in the gut, and he spit it out and blinded the ref. And they were showing that Trey was drinking the entire match. He was a manager, so he was just out there drinking Ortiz's whiskey. Well, he got overhyped when the ref got bumped, goes to the top rope, does a finishing move. Another ref comes in, counts 1, 2, 3, but he wasn't the legal guy, so they just had to throw it out. But very entertaining match. The sequences was really good. I watched Young Bucks versus Red Dragon, another good one. I watched AEW. I'm pretty sure everyone saw the Ray Phoenix arm. Very scary. Watched Wrestle Kingdom night 1, not night 2 yet, but yeah.
Very nice, very nice. And it seems we've been joined by a newly crowned BCW heavyweight champion.
Yes, you have. Gunnar Wicks showing up late as usual.
Why don't you introduce yourself, brother? Or I guess you've said who you are, but let those social medias fly.
Yep, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all at Gunnar Wicks.
Nice.
So you can catch me there.
All right, and I hate to rush you with a question since you just came on, but what have you been watching?
Absolutely no.
Partially right. I did see the Ray Phoenix arm deal. That was scary.
Yeah.
It's one of those things when you wrestle yourself, you kind of like think about before you go out, like, man, I hope I don't do that.
Yeah. No choke slams in my matches.
Only giving them, not taking them. I did just start watching earlier today. Impact's pay-per-view, Hard to Kill, I think it's called.
Yeah, I heard that was really good.
All I've seen so far is the first match, which was like the women's X Division match, which I haven't watched Impact in like years. That first match was pretty solid, and I still got to watch the rest, but I'm looking forward to it.
That was the first ever women's X Division match too. Like they've never had one before, so that's a goodie to start off with.
Yeah, and it's cool to see Lady Frost on there, who we got to meet at Ring of Honor probably like 2 years ago now, maybe 3. So it's cool watching that. Exciting match.
Yeah, it's cool to watch her and Victor Benjamin doing their thing after meeting them a couple of years ago. Hot shit.
I always see the cool people that like you've brushed elbows with, or like maybe you're not like super great friends, but like you've been around them and stuff, see them doing big things. Also, it's cool to see your friends doing cool things too.
It's cool to see your friends. But, I think also with them, it's the people that you set up and tear down with will always have special relationships with.
Yeah, that's like one of the things I thought was like, oh, I helped tear down, set up the ring with her like a few years back, and now she's doing this stuff, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy that you guys brought it up. Like, I don't really want to go too much into like the weekend stuff with this, but I picked up Ricky Morton from the airport, and we were driving. We were talking about shows and all that, and he asked me if I knew who Juicy was, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I was doing a show down in Indianapolis, and I saw this big Tongan guy, and I was like, "Are you a wrestler?" He's like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "Are you on the show tonight?" He's like, "No, I'm trying." He's like, "I flew out from California here." But like Ricky Morton took a picture of him setting up the ring and posted about it, and pretty much got him help. Pretty much like how you said, the success. Like the reason I bring that up is because Doc and Perch were with Juicy all that weekend too, and he got the call up and got on the show, and now we always see him doing big things and always booked at those promotions we're trying to get to.
Yep.
That's dope. Always
Yeah,
pay your
Ricky Morton.
dues.
It was
Just takes
crazy.
that
Ricky
one
Morton.
moment.
Yeah, it's crazy that Ricky Morton brought him up, and I'm like, I know exactly who this is. That's like that's that homie.
Yep. Big Tongan.
Yeah.
Player. All right, Perch, you probably did the most miles out of anybody. Did you get a chance to watch anything while you were traveling?
Yeah, once in a while, Impact Wrestling is on the hotel, and I'm able to catch it. I forgot exactly what it was. It was the go home show for the big pay-per-view. I forgot exactly what it was, but it was very pleasant to come back to the hotel room and see some Impact Wrestling. But last week AEW was pretty good. Really enjoyed the rematch with judges on hand as Hangman Page took on Danielson. Good match all around. Storytelling in pro wrestling. Danielson had a game plan. It's the way he wrestles, and he had to abandon that game plan about a quarter of the way into the match. That's next level thinking. Having a game plan, abandoning the game plan, and changing up the strategy. That's kind of next level progression, storytelling, and awesome to see it play out in the way it did, with as much intrigue as there was, set up nicely for him to be, lights are on but no one's home, right for that buckshot lariat, which was perfect. He never let himself susceptible to that move the entire time through a whole hour match, and 40 minutes into this one, not once was he susceptible for that move until the moment he was. Just like watching Aaron Rodgers play football, watching Danielson put together a match or work a match like that, that is phenomenal. Really
He's no
enjoyed
Eli Manning, but whatever. All right.
But yeah, that Danielson match really hit it for me. I really enjoyed watching that. A good championship title match. Doing that championship proud. It's got some good history already to it. And I ended up seeing some of the AEW Rampage with Eddie Kingston and the boys taking on him and LAX against Daniel Garcia and his crew, the 2.0 guys, in just a balls to the wall street fight. Weapons, trash cans, everything. Eddie ended up kicking Garcia, slipped on some beer that was spilled, and Garcia went in on that leg right away. It was so good. Classic Eddie Kingston at his best. Really enjoyed that match on Rampage, and Hook against Aaron Solo, good match. Seeing him for the second time, I saw him in the match against, was it Bear Bronson earlier, and then
a week or 2 weeks before.
Yeah, and now this one, cool to watch. A good presence, and seeing him as, that's Taz's boy. The guy's a natural.
Yeah.
It's like Dusty Rhodes' boy, the natural Dustin Rhodes, was just smooth in the ring. So cool to see, like watching it. Good new guys and everything. And one of the coolest things that I watched through the week was Maverick took like a monster power bomb through a couple chairs onto a hard floor, like right in front of us.
Yeah,
he sure
watching
did.
that side by side. Like that was probably one of the coolest moments I saw through the week.
Yep, I made sure to pick up that chair and set it aside afterwards.
But yeah, it was a fun week of watching pro wrestling.
Yeah. Myself, I too watched the AE dubs. That Hangman Danielson match was awesome. I have not watched I did watch Rampage. And it was great. Shout out to Jade Cargill winning the TBS title. I don't know what she calls her finisher, but I've loved it since Beth Phoenix did it, and that shit off the top or second rope, wherever they were able to get up to, was good. It was dope stuff. Lots of wrestling from the Rising Sun last week. I did watch all of Wrestle Kingdom nights 1 and 2. Great show as always. Okada is still probably the best wrestler in the world. He is. He's really good at the wrestles. He gets it. He completely understands wrestling. He has figured it out. It's a great show. The show and Yo match to open up night 1 was awesome. The tag team title match was great. The 6-man match, those damn House of Torture bastards. They're really positioning Evil to be like, a top heel now, which I'm happy to see. He was floundering for a little bit, and it seemed his heel turn seemed a little pointless. What else was on that show? Oh, the Tanaashi and Kinta match. The no DQ match was great. Zach told I didn't realize when I was watching it, but Zach told me before we got on that Kinta tore his shoulder or whatever on that ladder spot. It was a high up ladder. Like I said, they didn't look like your normal standard wrestling ladders. These were definitely ladders for like putting up stuff. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. He was having trouble getting it set up. It was a little like fucking Rubik's Cube of a goddamn ladder. But like I said, good show. Wrestle Kingdom was awesome. I did watch the Noah New Year show last week as well. And that was awesome also. The cruiserweight match between Hayata, can't remember the other guy's name, but that was great. The All M's Alliance 6-man with Muto and Mochizuki and Marufuji and Tanaka, and I'm forgetting other people, was also really good. I mean, those guys are mostly everybody in that faction is a goddamn legend, so they put on a really good match. And then the last 2 matches were Kaito Kiyomiya versus the homie Keno from Congo. Big Keno fan. I've loved Congo since I started watching Noah, and that match was great. And more importantly, the main event, Nakajima versus Go Shiozaki. I talked to the record Josh Price about this. I feel like Go Shiozaki is the superhero babyface that every company tries to make and fails eventually. I think he's just got the gear, the entrance, the presence, the move set, the facial expressions, sells great to get the sympathy. And Nakajima, just in the build up to this, all he did was remind me of Shona from The Last Dragon, which is all I need to be a great fan. And God, and I watched some other Noah shows today too, and I just really love their like presentation and production. It's just really good. It's that Japanese, like we don't do a lot of cuts, but they do time to like, somebody's got to know, oh, this shot is going to be good. Get the good camera over there and have the good cameraman shoot that and have him take his time. And they seem to pick out these moments and it's just like, yep, that's going to be in a promo. That's going to be a picture. That's going to be something right there. And I really have enjoyed that, watching that over the last week or so. So excited for more Noah in 2022. Yeah, I actually watched a lot of wrestling over the week. Just one show for me just opened it up to just watch a bunch of wrestling this week. So it was awesome. But though I only had one show, looks like a couple of y'all had multiple shows. Why don't we start with me and Zach, because we didn't do much. Zach, what did we do this week?
Saturday, Bruce City Wrestling Rise to Honor. We tagged with the homie, the Wildfire, former NWA heavyweight champion. That's right, the great one. Everyone knows him. Everyone's a fan of him. Everyone loves him. Wildfire, Tommy Rich.
Yep.
So it was great. Like, I mean, like, all sincerity, like Tommy Rich, like we I didn't know anything about him before we started tagging with him. Like I started looking him up on YouTube, and the babyface stuff that he was doing, like he was just a super over good babyface. So I kind of appreciated it a little bit more. He was super fun to work with. Very understanding of what we were telling, and just easy to work, just easy working with, no control, just was down for whatever. And Doc, what did we do that night?
Oh, we won. That's what we did that night. We kicked La Sociedad Boricua in their putos, I believe is the word I'm looking for, and sent them packing so that Perch could probably catch them the next day. But it was no, yeah, Tommy was fun. There's always a worry when you're working with legends and are they going to want to do anything? Are they just going to want to sit on the apron? Are they gonna respect our opinion and listen to us? And Tommy was all about it. Tommy was down to do stuff. Tommy had ideas that he was throwing in there. And he was like, it's cool, brother. If you want to do this, come tag me in. If you don't, I got it. It's cool. So Tommy was down, so it was a real fun match. Always fun beating up the La Sociedad Boricua. This is my first time wrestling Axel Rico, so that was a good one to check off the list. Had to show him who has the better spinneroonie. I think the crowd answered that one, but yeah, it was a good show.
We got to bust out my funk salt.
Yep, funk salt and dives all around. An awesome triple roll up for the win. Call it the night.
Yes, sir. Dan, I'm pretty sure all three of us got a little boogieing on, got out there.
Yep, yeah. I was gassed. He's supposed to be old. That man was dancing for a long time.
I was like, this guy is doing laps.
Yeah. He's like, I am tired, and we have not entered the ring at all.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it was loads of fun. Hope we can work with him again.
Oh yeah, I would definitely not mind working with him again. And then Sunday, I didn't get on the show, but I showed up. Was there if I was needed to be, but I went to Galley Lucha. They had a great show. I'm not gonna say much. I know Perch was down there, and Perch had some big matches, so I'll let when Perch does his recap do that. But yeah, that's how our weekend was.
Awesome. All right. Well, why don't we kick it to Perch first? Because we got a main eventer on the podcast. We'll save him for last. Perch.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. Ventured out west for the first time, out to Las Vegas for a show on Friday night. I was out just off of Fremont Street at Super Beast, the training compound at Dark Arts Entertainment. It was a very cool show, very fun time. Worked 4 matches and had the cool tag team title belts, the Creatures of the Night tag team titles, like a couple of the coolest looking belts I've ever seen. But an awesome experience. I got to meet people from a few different training schools out there. We got to get a lay of the land for possible going back in the future, which is cool. So got to experience what it was like with a Las Vegas crowd. It was fun. There were little posters and stuff all up and down Fremont Street for the show. So it was funny to see people that all came. They definitely were into pro wrestling, which is cool. Like all tag team matches for a big tournament that took place that night. So 4 tag team matches, and had a blast. Absolutely loved it. And then we flew back Saturday morning to make the show at Waukesha for the Rise to Honor. And that was a great time. Very fun. Had a match with Joey Chet and Dysfunction against Max and James. A good brawl all out. And then I had a match with CJ Cole against Ethan. And that was a good match as well. Fun time at the Rise to Honor, celebrating 4-year anniversary from when I went as a fan. Was January of 18, and I joined pro wrestling the next week. So Rise to Honor is always a cool sentimental show, and had a blast, especially with the Rock and Roll Express. Those guys were great, and seeing Jerry the King.
We heaped praises onto Tommy and didn't talk about the Rock and Roll Express being awesome. Those guys were good too, obviously.
Yep, and Robert Gibson, a legend, and Ricky Morton as well. And then Jerry the King, getting to see him throw that keg. That was the coolest thing in the world. Pops was there, so I got to watch it with him and a family friend. So got to perform and watch the show. So it was a really cool time at Rise. Really enjoyed it. And watching that main event was sweet too. And then Sunday, rounded it out for 3 states in 3 days as we headed down to Chicago for Galley Lucha. And that was a blast at the Galley Arena. I love that venue, that arena. Zach, was that one of your first times at that arena?
Yeah, that was one of my first times at the Galley. I think that was my first time at the Galley Arena. That one.
What did you think of it? The vibe.
It was awesome. I like the fact that like some of the stores, some of the flea market stores are still open and all that. The environment, the fans, like the Galley Lucha crowd is super hyped the entire time. They got like these things that like if you spin them, like they make clackers or clackers, I guess. Air horns. They got a drum in the back, some guys drumming. It's pretty cool. Like,
yeah, it's a wild atmosphere. It really is. It's a whole arena vibe to it. Very loud, very loud. And yeah, it's a cool place. That the Galley Arena, Galley Studios, nicely kind of dim lit too. So yeah, that lucha vibe is fun. We were able to work at 2 matches. The first was for one of the titles, Atomico Jr., the champion, against Jake Painter, the challenger, and Atomico Jr. kept the title via submission. That was a good match. And then the next match was for the heavyweight title, Cody Jones against Sam Adonis. And Cody was the champion coming in, and he lost the title to Sam Adonis. And the crowd loved it. That was a very fun match. Completely just they were out there old school working the entire match. It was fun to experience that through a lucha crowd and to facilitate it inside the ring. It was a match I was able to learn a lot from and take a lot out of. So yeah, it was a fun way to wind out the weekend.
Nice. Yep. I have not been to the Galley Arena for a show, but I have been for training. I hope that we'll be down there soon. Foreshadowing. But I guess it's time for the main event. Gunner, why don't you tell us about your weekend?
Pretty dope. I don't even know where to start really. So yeah, Saturday, Rise to Honor 18 BCW. Was in the main event against Baxter, Belafonte, and Maverick Boone for the heavyweight title there. A lot of emotion building up to that match. A lot of things going through my head. I think Rise to Honor is kind of a little special for all of us just because that's like our home promotion where we kind of grew up in the wrestling business in a sense. And that's BCW's biggest show of the year. So we all want to, perform our best and show what we got. Before my match even took place, there was the Hall of Honor ceremony. And I was lucky enough to win the future category for that one, which was pretty cool. That whole day I was kind of thinking like about the match that was going to take place. And I was hoping that like the people would respond to what I'm doing. And that's something that goes through my head a lot, just like in general before I have matches. I just hope that like the audience reacts because that's solid confirmation, like as it happens, did I do well? Did I not do well? But for the Hall of Honor deal, when they announced me for that, I kind of got like a bigger reaction than I was expecting, just like walking out there without any music or anything. And that, along with the 4 shots of whiskey I had before I went out for my match, gave me all the confidence in the world that like,
Hey,
I don't have to be worried about nothing.
We traded in Wisconsin.
But yeah, I was just thinking, wow, like I have all the confidence I have now. I don't got to worry. Like all my worries just went away, and I was like completely ready to go out and have that match. And it happened. It was fun. I bled for the first time ever during a wrestling match. Went through a table for the first time ever. There's a lot of firsts in that one. A guitar smashed over my head for the first time. Took a coast to coast from Baxter. Powerbomb Mav through a bunch of chairs, which Perch talked about earlier. As soon as I did that to him, I was like, ouch.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yep. This was like, y'all doing that right here?
Yep.
So that should let you know that that was probably a problem.
That whole match had a lot of crazy stuff. I don't know like how far behind the curtain I want to go with it. At the end, there was like a moment of panic because I needed a table because I planned on spearing Mav through that table to end him once and for all because he kicked out of my choke slam, he kicked out some other stuff. So I knew he needed something big. I kicked out of my choke slam. I was looking for a table. It was not where I was expecting it to be. I went into like panic mode, like, oh shit, what am I going to do? He needs more than just a plain spear to finish him off. I looked around outside the ring and saw Jim, who won Fan of the Year, had a nice little present that he gave to Mav earlier as a big picture frame of Jim's face. Had a glass like cover over the photo, like nice, real big deal. And I was like, oh, this will work just fine. So I took it, crowd popped when I got it, set it up where I had to in the corner, gave one final look to Mav. He looked at me, we ran at each other. I caught him, speared him right through it. I think he had some cuts on his back from the glass, pinned him and got the win. So that was a pretty special night for me, as every Rise to Honor has been so far. And yeah, can't wait till next year.
Yeah, do it all over again.
Yes. Yep. And then the next day, I went down to North Chicago for AHW All Heel Wrestling. I have a heavyweight championship there I had to defend, went against Scott Spade for the first time. Unlike the match prior, which definitely had a game plan going in, that one had no game plan, just all on the fly, very old school like. I enjoyed it a lot. Didn't have to take anything crazy compared to the night before.
Sure, yep.
Yeah, it's definitely still hurting the next day. I still do right now. But yeah, I retained my title there and all is well.
Champ.
So solid weekend.
Very good. Very good. Nice stuff, boys. Yep. Rise Honor Weekend, always a great weekend. And it's for us at Brew City, it's the starting point for the new year, which leads into the question that I posed to the group this week. We put ourselves over a lot here, I'm sure, but it's time to put over some other people and things. And
someone has to.
Yeah, in 2022. So I asked the question to the boys. What are some things you want to put over and see more of in 2022? I'll go first. I'm gonna go book more tag teams, you cowards. This year was probably the one year where me and Zach got to wrestle a lot more established. I don't even want to say established tag teams, but tag teams that train together and work to be tag teams. And it's been some of the funnest matches that we've probably had in our careers. So I want to take a moment to put over the Premier, put over TSF, put over Bang Bros. God, who did we wrestle at ARW, Zach?
We wrestled Youth Gone Wild.
Flight Club, put them over. And unfortunately, La Sociedad Boricua.
Over the Curse.
Yep, another one. So yeah. When you book two tag teams, magic can happen, promoters. So that's something I want to see more of 2022. Keep giving us these established tag teams so that we can keep putting on magic and stealing your show for you. I'm gonna go down the line. Perch, what are some things you want to put over in 2022?
One thing in particular that I would love to see in 2022 would be traveling feuds, like a feud that lasts from promotion to promotion to promotion between a few wrestlers. Like a Colt Cabana and Adam Pearce from several years ago, where they would just have a feud that transcends any promotion in particular, and you hope it's coming to your town, or you hope it's coming to a show near you. A cool one or a storyline GCW had going was Atticus and Jordan Oliver, and that was going from show to show. You didn't know when they were going to show up, and the next guy was going to attack the guy from behind. But I like seeing feuds last out. AAW had a good feud last year with Mance Warner and Fred Yehai. I really enjoyed that playing out. And it would be cool to see that matchup, maybe go somewhere else as well. Maybe a different state or a different place. I love seeing traveling feuds. That's good old school pro wrestling. I'll fight you here, I'll fight you there, I'll fight you anywhere. Jerry the King and Terry Funk see each other in the same room, no matter where they're at, they're gonna want to kick each other's ass. So yeah, I love the thought of traveling feuds and seeing guys really go and really just watching modern promotions, lots of different networks out there and streaming platforms. IWTV is awesome, Fight TV is awesome. Twitch has got wrestling, YouTube has got wrestling, so many different forms. And we always try to get our posters out there through, YouTube and through Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. But shout out to everybody who helps share that stuff, and anyone who helps out online, whether it's sharing or liking, or don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Yep.
The classic stuff. I would just like to put over anyone and everybody who does that for us and joins the celebration. I know nothing of social media coming into it, so I want to spread positive vibes, the energy, and I try to label things in celebration or motivation, inspirational kind of stuff. So for all those who say Twitter is all negative, I try to make it at least positive to some point. And thank you to everybody who helps do that, online and stuff too. So much love to everybody who helps support
Yes.
all the wrestlings.
Yes, I definitely want to see more liking, sharing, and subscribing of our stuff. No, it's like we say it all the time. We say it all the time because it matters and it is super important. Nothing, like, nobody cares about us. All right, they care about y'all because y'all are buying the tickets. So and y'all keep liking and sharing, it makes our job on the back end a lot easier. So yeah, more of that in 2022, please, guys. We love it when you do that.
We only matter because you make us matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a piece of shit. Gunner, what do you want to see more of in 2022, or anything you want to put over?
The only thing I can think of off the top of my head, because I didn't look at the question earlier, is fourth wall wrestling. I feel like there should be more fans at that show, because I feel like the show always has quality matches, always has good stuff going on, and I think more people should see it. And I'm there all the time. So.
Hey, that's fair. I think spacing is kind of an issue in that venue specifically, as far as more fans. But yeah, let's back it out as much as we can.
Yep. Yeah, just to piggyback off of Perch too, what he said, I like the like more than just same dudes having feuds everywhere, kind of like cross promotional type stuff. We've got to see it at like kind of the bigger level lately with Mickie James being able to enter the WWE Royal Rumble, even though she's with Impact at the moment. I think more of that stuff on the higher level, more of that kind of cross promotional stuff, even on the lower level, like in our local area or other indie wrestling scenes, is benefits everyone as a whole. And kind of like other shows promoting other shows, and just like really promoting, I guess, the wrestlers at its core is something cool, and I hope that happens more often.
ACW versus BCW, book it.
Yes, 100% down for that.
Let's go. Milwaukee versus Green Bay. Let's do it.
That's literally what I was gonna say. I like that like ARW and SCW did it. Like one was in Indiana, one was in Illinois, but they had like a good half year long or year long feud where they just kept going to each other's venues and like fucking shit up. They had their top guy at ARW with the SCW heavyweight title. They had their top SCW guy win the ARW heavyweight title. I was like, let's get a Milwaukee Green Bay divide and start invading. Gunner can use some heavyweight titles. We got Perch in the back pocket.
Yeah.
Everyone wants Perch in the match. Little do they know he's repping Milwaukee.
Yep.
Welcome to the Green Bay screw job.
All right. Zach, what do you want to see more of in 2022, or what do you want to put over you think people should see more of in 2022?
I mean, I agree with the tag. You guys pretty much stole a lot of the good ones. I mean, I saw a meme, but I do kind of want it to happen. Like at the Forbidden Doors with WWE finally open. I see like Mickie James coming into WWE, but I would like to see the way we find out that WWE is working with other promotions, just R-Truth showing up to some random promotion.
Yeah, I saw that post.
I thought this was WWE. My bad.
I definitely more R-Truth everywhere at all promotions.
If we get R-Truth to pretty much announce that WWE broke down the Forbidden Door, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
That would be great. R-Truth come in there.
No, yeah, R-Truth is the best. So yeah, every promotion would benefit.
Honestly, to continue that, people might think it's a joke. R-Truth versus Brock Lesnar. Want more of those two in the ring.
They've had some good interactions.
But
I mean, I want more happy Brock Lesnar. I always love when Brock is happy and having fun.
That's very true. But back to the indie level, actually after Galley Lucha being the experience, I want more crowd interactions like the Galley Lucha crowds. It's something other that you don't. It's just something like the little clackers and all that. The crowds are always super appreciative. Like I didn't know at first. I thought they were throwing stuff at this wrestler. Like what the hell are they throwing? And the fans, when they get a sign of respect to your matches, they throw like dollar bills in the ring.
Yeah, that's a like Lucha Libre thing.
Yeah, like I was sitting there firsthand and like kind of seeing it. Like you forget, and then like you see, like oh yeah, like that's that.
Yep.
Yeah, cool to admire. So like, you see why Perch is going down to more Galley Lucha. All that, like the environment, like seeing the Lucha Libres at their style, like it's a different style. So like, I think it'd be cool to kind of. I think Warriors doing it. It'd be cool if like guys are willing to learn that style, have some matches like underneath like Lucha style, where if like one of your tag partners fall out, the other one just goes right in and just doing something like where fans who don't really know much can see it in a different style, bringing different styles to wrestling.
Feel you. No, yeah. Get some more just getting to touch other people.
Well, it's like, like it's not hard to do a blood sport match. You just take the ropes off, but like I feel like that would be like a cool like fan environment match if you had a gimmick match like that. Or if like with the Caribbeans, they like ever challenge us to a lucha tag match. Like we have to learn lucha, like figure out the rules there, make sure we do everything right. But it's like it's not traditional, but something different where the fans like, oh, I didn't know that could happen. Oh, like what's going on here?
Yeah. It's always fun when you can use wrestling to explain wrestling to the fans.
Exactly.
No, I get it. All right. So that leads us into the upcoming week and what we got going on. Why don't we start with Gunner?
Friday, SCW, Insane Rumble. Be there. I will. That's all I got.
All right. Fair. Funny you should say that, because Zach, what are we doing Friday?
We are making our waited. I hope maybe fans are waiting. I know we've been waiting. Return to ICW. I think it's been 6 months since we've been at ICW. Last time we were at ICW is when we dropped the ICW Tag Team Championship, which I mean, still waiting for the rematch clause to get invoked. Did you submit the paperwork?
I hope I did, but I'm never sober. So
submit the paperwork. You see, this is why we've been gone for 6 months. You have to submit the paperwork for the rematch clause.
Probably. More than likely my fault.
I'm in charge of merch. You're in charge of like documentation that needs to sit back.
I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, when we're waiting for Doc to get the paperwork filed, then maybe we'll get our rematch clause ever. We're on the build. We're coming back. We're coming more importantly, not CJ Cole. He's just the boy. We come in for the man that cost us our 6 months of ICW. We come in for the swagnificent one, Jarrett Jackson. CJ Cole's just going to be a casualty by association.
Definitely. Jarrett Jacks, long history with Thumper's Den kids and getting them titles. It'll be good to hand back some of those lumps this weekend.
Yes, sir. We take out Jarrett. We avenge our loss by Jarrett Jacks, and we start the road back off to reclaiming those ICW Tag Team Championships.
Yes, sir. To be your 2-time ICW Tag Team Champions. And then Saturday, we'll be heading down to Chi-Town.
Chi-Town, we going to Game Changer Wrestling. Looking forward to this. The big announcement is Jeff Jarrett will be there. I think that's like when he just just showed up last show, so it's gonna be a big deal. I know they have a lot of good talent. One match I was talking to this past weekend was with Ricky Morton. He's gonna be wrestling Matt Cardona there.
Put out a
So-
promo today that was very entertaining.
Yes, sir. And then yeah, we're going down there. We're not booked, but going down there, smiling,
Yep.
being wherever is needed, and helping out and try to make that show run as smooth as possible.
Yep. We'll be shaking babies and kissing hands. It'll be a good weekend.
Yes, sir. And then do we have anything Sunday?
I don't believe we do.
No, Sunday was Zello.
Yeah. But that's a whole thing. Perch. What do you got coming up this weekend?
This weekend we'll be heading out to Detroit, Michigan for GCW. Going to be an awesome time Friday night, kicking things off, and then heading out to Chicago for Saturday for GCW. So going to be a GCW Game Changer Wrestling in the Midwest weekend. Really excited to hop back on board. Last time was the Nick Gage Invitational weekend with a little Detroit action Friday night in Chicago the next day. So really looking forward to this time around and learning a whole lot in the process. GCW is getting ready for their Hammerstein Ballroom show, which is going to be huge. So, last stop before these shows are going to be pretty big. So to be a part of it is the place to be. If anyone's here in the Midwest, check out Game Changer Wrestling for real.
Yeah, it'll be a great weekend. Yeah, they're on the road to the Hammerstein, which is certainly to be an amazing show. So check it out if you can, and see us clean light tubes. You never know what we'll be doing there, so come check it out. Oh, and lastly, final thoughts and questions. Zach, you got any?
What was your favorite moment from Rise? Like, it could be a moment you had, it could be a moment you just watched and experienced. I know we kind of went over Rise, but like, if there's anything else about Rise that you like, one final moment about it, if any.
Oh, very easy. Gunner power bombing Mav through those chairs. Everything about that situation. Realizing that y'all were doing it right there and being like, this is a bad idea. Me and Perch getting out of the way, further getting out of the way, further getting out of the way. No, he's like, put myself over, me being the homie to go ahead and snag that chair and put behind merch table so that y'all gotta have it for the memories. Yeah, everything about it. Like that's probably my big moment from Rise.
Thank you, Doc, by the way, for saving the chair.
Hey, no problem. I'm gonna just go down the line still. Perch.
I would say being able to watch your guys' match as well as the Rock and Roll Express match from the back of the house with my dad and a good family friend, old Pops, who's a family friend, Grandpa, and for those two to be there and to watch it, it was just a really fun time. So watching a couple of legends, the Rock and Roll, and Wildfire, it was just some of those legends that I'll always remember and can always say I watched them with my dad, which is a really cool moment. Helps continue to fuel that passion for what we do, having moments like that. So I loved it.
Nice. Gunner.
I'll say two things. One that's not my own. I got to watch the first half of Rise. The second half, I was too busy stretching and pouring down shots. But from what I saw, my favorite part was actually your guys' match when it looked like Doc was gonna jump over Zach to hit a dive, and then Zach just jumped and did like a crossbody, I think it was, onto a bunch of people. So I
Very
wasn't
shitty
expecting it. It was
moonsault.
kind of cool, so I like that part.
Thank you. It's a very shitty moonsault. It's the funk salt.
Well, I liked it. It was the element of surprise that was effective because I thought Doc was jumping over Zach, and nope, Zach just jumped himself. And then selfishly, my favorite part, it's hard to pick. Sorry about that. My voice is kind of gone. Hard to pick just one spot. If I had to pick one, is just initially coming out for the Hall of Honor deal and hearing the fans. I was smiling the whole time. I couldn't not smile, and it meant a lot to me to have them react like that and to get that award and all that stuff. So yeah, that's my personal favorite for myself.
Awesome. And Zach, lastly, since it was your question.
Yeah, so I have a few. Like, couple are funny, couple are like cool. Some of the funny ones. Gunner was bleeding, and at first everyone's like, "Oh shit, that's not his face paint."
Oh yeah. The way that it bled initially, it just looked like your older version, like when you first had the red in your face paint.
We were just like, Gunner has just evolved back to old Gunner.
Yeah.
He didn't think and chokeslammed women.
We need to bring that back in 2022, by the
way. I really enjoyed watching Baxter go all out. Like, I know, like me and Baxter were at camping a couple times. Like, I'm tired of people thinking I'm not capable of doing things. And I was like, it's probably the same issue I have. I just don't do it.
Yeah, it's like I don't think anybody's ever questioned that Bax could do things.
No, he just said like fans like don't know he could do stuff.
Oh yeah, fans don't. Yeah, because you guys don't do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like the element of surprise. Like I can do a lot more that I don't do. But Baxter going all out, doing the front flip off the top rope, coast to coast, as someone said earlier. The whole match, the beer drinking. I actually looked back and a couple times during the Jerry the King of Lawler match. Perch is just on top of a chair, like going nuts and just looking at like when you sat there, like look around, you see all your friends having a good time and just embracing. It's like, wow, this is like good old school wrestling, good fun entertainment. And I'm not gonna lie, before our match, I wasn't like too keen on like randomly like tagging with a name with like no story. I know it sounds weird, but like we're building up like the whole thing with the Caribbeans. We're like, oh, and I have a respect for him, but like after work with Tommy Rich, like a newfound respect, a newfound joy, and it was super fun. Just he was having a good time, we were having a good time. We were cracking jokes on the apron, just working with him, just shooting the shit with us was super cool. Oh, and the last moment, watching the luxurious ones enter, and I'm like, oh, they all could do matching gear. Not to have matching gear.
No, yeah, and I think they've actually had that gear specifically for a while.
No, Baxter he said he got it from Matt for Christmas.
Maybe they were talking about something else. I think they have some other matching gear.
Yeah, but like when you see them actually came out finally as a matching tag team, you're like, oh, now y'all want a match.
Yep. Yeah, it took Mav's career being on the line.
Yeah.
One cool thing about Rise to Honor is overall, like, is a really good, solid show. And I think we all probably had moments where we could be fans and not wrestlers, just like watching our peers wrestle.
Yeah.
Because we all did some cool stuff. So.
Oh, Jonah and Chucky's the finish.
Oh yeah, that was great too.
Yeah, that was a good one. I missed it live, but he posted the clip today. Go. Yeah, I'll say this. More Chucky Bates everywhere in 2022. Travel more, Chuck. Fuck. Because he's really good. And yeah, that finish was dope. All right, Gunner. Final thoughts or questions?
The only thing I have is just a question for Perch. You were in Vegas, correct?
Mm-hmm.
While you were there, did you get to partake in any Vegas activities, any gambling, anything maybe not wrestling related? Did you have time for that or no?
Yeah, there's one thing in particular that I did. Um, and that was I made sure that I hit up the Las Vegas fight shop.
Nice.
Bruiser always told us stories about going there. So it's at like a outlet mall, and it's off the strip a little bit, and just a 10-minute Uber ride. But I was able to get there right when the doors open, or right when the gate opened. And I was there, an hour before the mall opened. But just walking around, killing time on one of the mornings, Friday morning, and I walked in, and right when they opened, talked to the guy for probably an hour and a half. Dude's name is Dan, good guy, a fellow Dan. And just checked that place out. It was the coolest place ever, dude. Just all wrestling merchandise and fighting, UFC, boxing, just awesome, nostalgic. Um, for a pro wrestling fan, like we could spend hours in there looking at stuff, and certainly did, and just talking wrestling. So really enjoyed checking out the Las Vegas Fight Shop is my top choice. And then as far as casinos go, I don't have an itch for gambling, but I did walk into the Golden Nugget. My brother said, like, hey, if you go to that place, sometimes the machine like closest to the door may pay out because people can see it from the street. So right then my brother had to go because he was like picking up his kids. So he was like, I'll give you a call right back. So I hung up and I walked right into the Golden Nugget. I put a $10 bill into a video poker game. Pressed the button once, lost a hand. Pressed the button again, won $20 and cashed out. So I guess I won $10. So I put in a 10 and I got a little coupon for $20, cashed out. So I don't think I'll ever gamble again in Vegas and consider myself
Oh,
having
winner.
won
Yep. Just
$10.
go out on top, brother.
That's the way to do it.
Yep. That was the most Vegas thing I did. And walked the Fremont Street each night, which was cool. Cool lights.
Nice.
I like the mountains too in the daytime.
Very nice. And Perch. Final thoughts or questions?
Noah and New Japan, LIJ against Congo. That match was just pure chaos and a fight and a war and what pro wrestling is all about. Just balls to the wall entertainment, and love it. Like to see that kind of a match going on right now. Is pro wrestling is in a good way.
Yeah. Once that show is posted to New Japan World or Wrestle Universe, I will be checking it out. But with that, I think we can go ahead and take it on home. Like we said before, more liking, more sharing, more subscribing. We love you guys for it. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. 1.